Welcome everyone to Spilling the Tea with Estee and Marlene, where we serve the hottest tea. Join me and my baby stripper voice.
And me welcoming you all to eavesdrop onto our uncensored opinions. This platform is used to inform, laugh, and potentially inspire others to speak out about things we may all be thinking about but are too afraid to say out loud.
And don't forget, babes, if the shoe fits, wear it. All right, guys, welcome back to Spilling the Tea with Estee.
And Marlene.
How are you?
How's it going?
It's going good.
It's great. Look, the mic is on.
Okay, please address and apologize to the people.
I want to sincerely apologize to my lovely people that take the time to listen to us on the bus, on the train, when they don't want to listen to their kids, when their spouses are being annoying. I want to sincerely apologize. I did not turn on my mic.
For a portion of last week.
Yeah, for a portion of last week. But this time we made a whole checklist. We're ready. Mm-hmm. We're prepared. We're committed.
She ready.
So, yeah, I'm so sorry, people.
Yes, but aside from that, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for everybody who has been listening to, answering the questions on
the polls.
On the polls on Spotify. If you're not on Spotify, get on it.
It's free, people.
Yeah.
It is free, yeah.
I was like, it is free. Get on Spotify, answer our polls, answer the questions we ask because they're fun.
They're fun, and we want to get to know our audience and who we're talking to and who's our listeners. So please engage. The comments you guys send to us individually, put them on the comment section.
Yeah.
Write it on the Apple podcast, the general podcast.
Yeah.
There's a review there.
Do it all and comment on the YouTube.
Go crazy, people.
Yeah.
So
I also want to just verify because a lot of people ask me, did Marlene throw the shoes out from last week?
Who asked you that?
Please confirm. Please update.
They have been thrown out. Mm-hmm. I have not rebought them yet. Mm-hmm. But they will be rebought.
The same ones?
Another color. They're comfortable though.
Should you rebuy them?
Yes, because it was not the shoe's fault. It was my fault on how I got off the big chair. So, yes.
All right.
Forgive me. Yes. But it was thrown out.
Okay. So whoever asked me, they have been thrown out.
I'm like, who was that? Let me take a guess.
We're going to just leave it mysterious. So let's get into today's topic because it's a fun, easy...
Yes.
Fun, flirty topics.
So sometimes I catch myself thinking, I am so happy. One, that my parents had a leash on me when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And also when I look back, I also think to myself, what the fuck were you wearing?
Yeah.
So today we want to take a little dip into memory lane, into our old high school selves.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm very different from when I was in high school.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm very different.
Very different too.
But I graduated in 2008. Mm-hmm. You graduated in
2009.
Okay, so we're in the same era.
Yeah.
So, things have changed. What would you say comes to mind when you think about your old self?
Oh my God. I was a hot mess. I think I was super insecure. Mm-hmm. I think I was super insecure, but I didn't want to show people that I was insecure.
You were faking it? You were delusional?
Pretty much, yeah. Okay. Always been delusional.
I love that.
So I was super insecure, and I think I was trying to fake it that I wasn't. Mm-hmm. So I think I came off a little too stuck up. And that was a comment that I got a lot when I was in high school.
That you were stuck up?
Yeah. And it was I wasn't stuck up. I was just I don't know what it was. I think I just wanted to fake that I was just feeling myself.
You were hot shit.
Yeah. And I think I did it, to make people believe it, I had to overdo it. So I can believe it. It was a weird thing. But yeah, I got that comment a lot when I was stuck up in high school.
I think when people first approach you, you could come off a little high maintenance.
Yeah.
But once you get to,
I have always gotten that comment. I still get that comment. So maybe I haven't changed since high school.
but once people talk to you, down to earth.
Always.
You get humble but bougie.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I remember vividly from high school, especially from freshman year, is I would always lie to my mom and tell her I would come home late. So first of all, I went to school in Upper West Side, and I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Brooklyn, like East New York, Brooklyn.
Like that was a trip.
Like it was a whole trip. Like I used to get up at 5:30, or I used to leave the house by 5:30. One of those. Yeah. My first senior and sophomore year, I used to lie to my mom all the time. Freshman and sophomore. My bad. I used to tell her that there was a fire on the tracks.
Because you would be out hanging out?
Yes. So little old me from Brooklyn would be out in the Bronx, out in the Heights. I was introduced to like hooky parties. I was introduced to like hanging out and shit. And I used to come home like 6. And my mom used to be like, why is it taking you so long to get home? Like you should be home by 5. And I was like, oh no. There was fire on the track. So they took everybody off the train. And I had to wait until they cleared it out. And they got back on the train.
And she believed you?
Yeah, because, she looked at me and she was like, oh, okay. But then, I feel like she was like, she's lying to me, but I'm going to just let her rock.
How many fires did he tell her?
At least 8.
Oh my God. She probably was like, damn, they need to get the MTA.
Yeah, so she has a horrible experience. She's like, the MTA is horrible.
Oh, okay.
Off of my experience. But yeah.
Because of the fires.
So that's one vivid story I have. What would be yours?
Oh my God, I have so many. Like,
I want to hear this.
Where can I start?
Well, you can start from freshman year, if there's any there.
No, I wasn't popping. I think I was just going to school. I didn't
You was a good boy?
No, I also didn't have the best grades.
Okay.
Well, there's a story about my grades. So
okay.
I think it was 11th grade, or I think it was maybe it was 10th grade. I was failing a class, and only because I just didn't really care. I was just like, oh, whatever. But I was failing the class, and eventually I asked the teacher. I was like, is there any extra credit I can do to pass the class? So then I blew him. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, excuse me?
No.
I was like,
no. So then I was like, is there any extra credit I can do to pass the class? And he thought about it, and he was like, I had a very low sign up for my track team.
Track?
Yeah. And then I was like, oh shit. Guess who was running track?
You?
After school to pass that class? Me.
Was it gym?
No, it was the team that competed against other teams.
Okay. But were you failing gym, or were you failing another class?
I was failing another class, but that teacher was the coach.
Okay.
Guess who was running track? Me.
You.
Oh my God.
And you don't run. You don't even run for the bus.
The only thing I do is run out of money. That's it. And I was running. And then when I would get on the races, I didn't care to win. I just needed to get that I went and that I passed my class, and then he ended up
So you never did a race?
Yeah.
You did, because he was probably gonna be
in a race.
But just
So if I remember there was many teams. I think it was 3 teams, and they would, or 4 teams, and they would put one of each person. I only really ran fast enough to not be the last person. I didn't care to win. I didn't care to help the team out. I just wanted my grade.
Okay.
And I also didn't want to be the one to lose. So I always just made sure I was not the last one.
Okay.
But I didn't care to be better. I got an 80 in the class.
I was going to say, what did you get?
I got an 80, which was amazing.
That's great. Amazing.
And I was like, thank you so much. I will do better next year because I'm never fucking doing this again.
That's a funny story.
And that's how I passed.
I mean, that's very creative.
Mm-hmm.
You did what you had to do.
Yeah.
Just like we do in life.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't blow him, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
I was like, you want to make sure you clear that up. Like, you blew him or you didn't? Was he cute?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say.
I also was like 15.
Oh, I mean, that happens a lot though.
No, there was no blowing. No blowing.
Can you tell me about, like, once you found yourself, a funny story?
Oh, yeah. So I wasn't like super popular, but I also wasn't like a dork. I was just like a person that stuck to like the people that I made friendships with.
Okay.
And it was just like a very small group. And aside from that, like all the people would like kind of like bully me, or like they would just like talk like bad about me.
Okay.
And I just like never really paid attention. This is gonna sound so. This is why people think I'm probably so stuck up. In my head, because again, I also went to like ghetto ass high school.
I mean, I feel like if you went to school in New York City, you went to a ghetto.
Ghetto. Mm-hmm. Shout out arts and business.
Ooh.
In Corona.
Whoop.
So I went to a ghetto ass high school, and then the cool people were like the hood rats, and
the ones you see in the club nowadays.
Yeah, and then I didn't really care to like be a hood rat. Like I don't know, like so in my head I always just had.
You never wanted to be a bum bitch.
Never.
Okay.
So in my head I always had like a vision of like I am so much better than this. Mm-hmm. I am going to not be in this hood mentality of like we're gonna stay in Corona. Like I went to school in Corona. Like I grew up part of my life in Corona. Like I just always knew like I am destined for better.
Yes.
I am not going to like this is not my life. Like I'm not happy going to.
This is temporary, not long term.
So I never fazed me that like the cool kids were not like super friendly with me. I just stayed with like the people like I was cool with. Mm-hmm. And then the summer between junior year and senior year, I started working, and then I started going to Soho.
Ooh, and somebody got a job, somebody got money.
Yeah, and then like for people that like lived in like at that time like Left Rock, Queens, Corona, like Woodhaven, like where like I'm from, like a lot of those people were just so sheltered in like the Queens mentality, like they didn't really like leave that area. Mm. So I used to go hang out in the city, even if it was by myself with my cousin. I would just go hang out in the city. I just felt like this is like my vibe. Like this is like fashion. I've always been obsessed with fashion since I was little. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is it. This is like fashion. Like this is what I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
So I started like, like going on the internet looking for like a fashion magazines, like everything that I could do. And then I started shopping with what I could afford to look like those fashionable like Hollywood people. Mm-hmm. And I remember I bought a blazer. Mm-hmm. Ooh,
when the blazers were in.
When they first came in.
Yeah.
I bought a pair of like skinny jeans when they first came out for men. Ooh. And I bought a pair of black combat boots. And then I got rid of my North Face backpack and I got like a Calvin Klein duffel. Super chic. Mm-hmm. And I wore that uniform like pretty much almost every day or like a variation of it to school. Mm-hmm. Because back then, 2007, 8, 9, like the style was to get the sneakers with like the matching like hoodie and t-shirt. Like there was like no.
Like, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Like, why are you coming for me right now?
Mm-hmm. Like you say, the shoe fits.
We'll talk about that later.
So that was a style. That's what everybody in the hood wore. Mm-hmm. And then I show up to school, like, like blazer, skinny jeans. Like
you were different. You were fashionable.
was different. And then everybody that senior year was like, wow, you look so high fashion. Like you look so good. Like then everybody wanted to like be my friend. And like, especially like the girls that used to be mean to me, they would always be like, oh my God, you look so good. Like, what do you got this? What do you got that? Like, do you want to, we're going to the movies this weekend. Do you want to come? Like, a lot of people started trying to, like, talk to me. And I was just like, I don't want to. So, like, people would invite me places, and I'll just be like, no, like not really, like I don't want to
good.
go. And
Look at
then
you turning down invitations.
and then they would be like, why? And then one time I was like, like I don't really come to school to make friends. Like I don't really want to be friends with anybody here, except like my girls. But I was like, I don't really want to be friends with any of you. Like not now. And then eventually at the end of senior year, I got nominated to be best dressed.
Ooh.
And I knew I was not gonna win because I wasn't like popular. Mm-hmm. And then it was me and like two other guys. And then of course like the popular guy that had no style, but he just had all the fresh J's.
Yeah.
And like the matching like Nike t-shirt. Mm-hmm. But he was super popular. Like he ended up winning. Yeah. And I was like, that was rigged. Like I deserved it. But I didn't work hard for it.
You will shine either way, boo.
I am, and I did.
Doesn't it feel so good to see a person from high school that like bullied you or you had like a bad memory with, and then you just like walk by like?
Mm-hmm. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
So, fuck them.
Mm-hmm. So that was like my like. Yeah.
Are you still friends with your people from high school?
Yeah, I'm still really good friends with one of my best friends. I've known her since the 6th grade. And then two girls I went to high school with. And then we weren't super close in high school, but I knew them. They knew me. Mm-hmm. They weren't mean. They were nice to me. Okay. But then we became super close right after high school. And then we have been friends since for like the past like 10 plus years.
I feel like you become closer after high school.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
Because you probably have money to hang out.
Damn. You came for me.
Well, me too.
It's true though. We were able to afford going out to get ourselves a nice meal and talk shit and get a few cocktails. So
yeah.
Would you say? So let's talk about the fashion in high school.
Okay. Oh, I just talked about the fashion, but I can go on deeper.
I'm like, because you already came for me, because my fashion at first was definitely like the Jordans. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, can I add one more thing about the fashion?
Go ahead.
There was this one girl that she was also my same vibe. Mm-hmm. Her name was Amira. Amira, if you're watching, Queen. Like, she was also, like, into fashion, so she would show up to school in, like, heels.
Heels?
She would show up in, like, a little heel, yeah, and, like, she wore a trench coat. She was one of the only girls that had an actual purse and not the, like, Ratchet North Face, like, crossbody bag that everybody had. No shade.
I never wore the North Face, though.
Okay, well, Amira, Queen, she would show up to school in heels and an actual purse, trench coat.
She was ready for the world.
She was, yeah, fashionista.
Ooh, I like her.
Yeah, so me and her became really good friends because we bonded into fashion. And people thought we were like a little weird and we thought we were better than people, but it's just like, eh.
You don't understand us, so why?
Hey girl, you wouldn't get this couture.
Yeah, like you don't understand us, so why are you getting upset? Mm-hmm. I would say at first, I wore a lot of Jordans.
Oh, me too. I was such a bird.
I was like such a bird. Like the Jordans with a white top or a black top with a skinny belt that matched the Jordan. Mm-hmm. That was like traditional.
For the guys, it was the shirt. Like if the Jordans were like black and white, it would be like the black shirt and then the zip up hoodie. Oversized shirt.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't do too oversized. My mom didn't let me.
Okay.
She was like, "That's for bums." Oh. Queen.
But you remember those big like t-shirts that you like
La bata,
like bata with the G. I'm like, why? What is the point of you wearing this bata?
Yeah, una bata, yeah.
Yeah.
So like the guys used to wear like the shirt and then like the zip up hoodie, so like the colors can go. Mm-hmm. And then, did you ever have a name belt? No, those are popular.
There was the name belt. There was the one that like it was like electronic.
Yeah.
And you can write whatever you want.
My cousin had that one. Bird.
Ooh. I never had a name belt because I was like, I'm not just gonna invest in that. At first, I never really understood. I'm gonna take that back because I did have a name ring with my name on it, but I never really understood like why we have to wear our names all the time. Like, why you need to know my name? But I'm looking at your shirt.
Yeah,
I'm looking at
I have a name
necklace.
It's very Carrie Bradshaw.
And I'm like, why do we need to know your name?
Because I'm a star. I don't know. Like, but people had it like estaban pasado. Like,
no, yeah,
it would be like the earring.
Yeah, like it's too much.
The,
like the earring,
chain,
this.
the ring. Like,
how much do you need to know the name?
Yeah, like, do you like black out that much that you just need to know this is you?
I wore this ring on purpose today.
It's a Yankee ring.
Yeah, but it's like very high school looking.
I wore my nameplate.
Yeah,
which
I mean, you always wear that, yeah. That's like if you ever forget your name, it's there. But that was like traditional fashion. Now, how I dress is like so different. Like, I look at I used to do the side bang, like the deep side bang with the gel. Did you do the
crunchy gel?
Yes.
The crunchy gel curls.
The crunchy gel curls. No, one time I did curls, and this girl, she was like, "Your curls are not crunchy, like they're a little frizzy." So she brought me the whole like Lotta body.
Well, at least she was nice.
She brought it, and I was just like,
"You had
this bitch came for me," but then she brought the shit. So I was like, "All right, you're gonna come for me, then supply."
You had nice people.
Yeah.
So I got a mohawk because I saw it on somebody on TV.
Okay.
That lived in Hollywood, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I think I got a mohawk, and it was really cute.
Okay.
And everybody was like, "Wow, like your hair's so crazy," but like it wasn't like a mohawk like this. It was like a fashion, like soft. And then everybody started doing it.
Look at you.
And then I just shaved it off because I was like, now that people are doing this fucking mohawk, like I don't think it's cool.
What did your mom say?
My mom has always been very good at like letting me express myself.
Okay, that's good.
And like, I mean, clearly, like, look at this shit. My mom has always been very good at letting me express myself in fashion, as long as I didn't go overboard. Like, she didn't let me wear super baggy jeans or really baggy t-shirts.
Okay.
But overall, like the mohawk, she wasn't like into it, but she was like,
fuck it.
Like, if that's what you like you're the one that has to wear it.
Exactly. Were you ever introduced like to hooky parties? Because in high school, like I was introduced to that, like end of freshman year, early sophomore year, but my grades were suffering.
Yeah.
So once like I saw that my grades were going down, I was like, wait a minute, I need to get my shit together.
Yeah.
And then I stopped going.
I went to a couple, but I only went to a couple like freshman, sophomore year. Like after I became like a junior, I was just like, I also need to get my shit together.
Okay.
I don't want to run track again.
What was the craziest thing you would say you've seen at a hooky party? Because I'll say mine.
Like people have full on sex.
Yeah, they were having sex. And then one time I was going into the hooky party and these people like ran a train on this girl. And I was like, what is going on here? I
never had a train at a hooky party that I was at, but we were at a party, a little hooky party, and then it wasn't like a real room. It was like a división, which is the sheetrock. And then some girl went there to get fucked, but like we can all hear it, and we were just all like, okay, like they're fucking.
Okay.
I mean, it took like 2 seconds. Like it wasn't quick.
I hate those.
I also was like kind of like a little prudish. So I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they're having sex.
You a prude?
Back then, yeah. I was like, I can't believe they're having sex. Like, ew. And like we're here.
And you can hear it.
Okay. I mean, now people are having sex. Like, I'm like, can I join? Like, hey, like, why is all the fun for you?
Yeah. And and before you used to judge them, look at you with your judgmental eyes.
Yeah.
So that's it? You just heard her?
Well, yeah, you heard her, and then people would just get wasted. They would smoke weed. That's when I smoked weed for the first time.
Okay. I never smoked weed until I was 30. So.
Okay, well, someone's late.
I just was not interested like that.
I don't know. Well, we used to drink like ratchet liquor.
Four Locos.
No, didn't have that back then. Yeah, E&J.
I used to drink Henny, but not anymore.
And then one time I got home so drunk and like I was like puking after school.
And what's your mom said?
My mom was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh, I think something like bad hit me from the lunch at school. It's nasty." And she believed it.
Yeah, I mean, public school lunch is not the best, but also it's not gonna have you hungover.
No, but she didn't know I was hungover. She thought I had like food poisoning or something, and I let her think that.
Oh, now she knows.
She's like, I'm gonna call the school, and I was like, you should.
You should.
You should.
Imagine she would have made a whole ruckus.
Should we take a break and then come back and talk more?
Yeah, let's take a little break.
Shenanigans.
Yes, please. We're gonna be taking a small break. We'll be right back.
We're gonna drink a little more to have more uncensored
a little
stories.
Mamitas. 2, 3. Welcome back, guys. We took a small little break, a little sip break. If we want any endorsements, please send an email.
Yeah, Brody Jenner, endorse us.
And
that's his brand.
That's his brand?
Yeah.
Mamitas?
Mm-hmm.
When you said mamitas, I was like, I can bring mamitas. I'm thinking the ice cream.
No,
all right, guys.
Brody Jenner, endorse us.
Endorse us. We need to tag him. I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah.
So while we were having a little break, we spoke about how...
Wait, can I also just apologize for my voice?
Why?
It sounds a little raspy.
What were you doing this weekend?
Recovering from fucking cold.
Oh.
So that was what I was doing.
Not the rave?
So I went to the rave with a cold.
Not the rave?
It's partially, yeah. So my voice is usually annoying, but now it just sounds like annoying and raspy. So
that's sexy to somebody. Somebody please slide into his DM and let him know.
Okay.
But what I was saying is I'm so happy that social media was not what it is now.
Yeah, no. I'm glad.
Before it used to be Stonex and Facebook. I remember we used to do like the old little coding and stuff to like put different graphs and
your top 8.
And your top 8. That would have been a fight, the top 8.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that it's not now because I would have been caught in a hooky party. I would have been caught lying about where I was at, time frame and date. My mom would have saw it on Facebook because now she has Facebook.
Yeah.
It would have been a whole mess. And these kids, they don't be caring.
0.
So I appreciate the not having social media. That's one important thing that I really appreciate.
Like you had like MySpace and you had Facebook for me like towards the end, but they were like just like chill, like you just posted pictures.
You said for me, like if I'm that much older.
Oh.
The fucking audacity.
What, did you have dial-up?
At one point I
did. So did I.
I'm like, you came for me? On the low?
But yeah, like those like sites were not as like toxic as like Instagram is now, or like all of this shit. So I am very thankful for that. I did have a MySpace. My MySpace was very cute. And then some people would be like, oh, I'm not in your top 8. And I'm like, bitch, I don't know you.
Ooh.
Like, why do you want to be in my top? My good thing is that...
Your top?
Why do you want to be on my top 8? Or my top whatever? The good thing is that I just had my 2 cousins like first and second. Because people be like, oh, why am I not first? Well, because it's my family.
That was a good excuse.
Yeah, it's my family.
I used to move it around sometimes.
I hate it at one point. I'm like, I don't really care.
I don't care who. I mean, I feel like you didn't really care at first. I used to have friends on there, but then I also had like boyfriends and stuff. But
like boyfriends, like multiple boyfriends on the top.
No, like like if I broke up one year with a boyfriend, then it would be like
I'll remove him. Yeah, of course.
Remove him. But talking about high school, did you have like any love interest?
No, I did not. Not towards the end.
Okay.
Like I was like a senior, but it wasn't even like a love interest. It was just like, okay, like let's see if we can just hang out.
Did you lose your virginity before leaving high school?
I did, because I was like, I cannot be a fucking virgin in college. That's so embarrassing. No offense to like college virgins, but it's embarrassing.
I mean, I lost my virginity too.
Yeah, good, as you should. High school is to lose your virginity.
There was a quite obsession about like, first of all, I remember when I was a freshman and I was like 14, this girl, like I had met a group of girls or whatever, and she was like, oh, you haven't lost your virginity yet? I was like, bitch, I'm 14.
Yeah, like, bitch, I'm not a whore.
I was like, Not yet.
Was she 14 too?
Yes. She was 14, 15, and she was a lot more experienced than me. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, no, I have not lost it. And she just made me feel a little shameful for that. Mm-hmm. But I lost it at 16. So I was just like, damn. But I lost it with like a boyfriend. Like I had a boyfriend. I mean, he ain't shit now with 4 kids, different baby mamas. Thank God. I dodged the bullet. Yeah. But I was just felt like ashamed because I was like, damn, like I was like one of the last people in that group to lose my virginity.
Damn. That's bullying.
I know, on the low.
And when I went to high school when I was a freshman, like my first, I think like day or two, I saw a pregnant girl. And I was
Were you astonished?
I was so shocked. I'm like, why is she here? She's pregnant.
They have to study too.
And then she was in my class, and then I went home and I told my mom, I was like, Mom, she's pregnant, and like she's sitting next to me like as if she's normal. Like she's just doing the work. Like as if she's normal. I don't know.
What did your mom say?
Well, my mom said, she's like, oh, that's what happens when you don't take care of yourself. And I was like, well, like, she's just there.
You thought she was, like, disabled?
I don't know. I thought she needs to go sent away somewhere. But she wasn't. And then mad people came up pregnant. And then I was just like, okay, well, I guess
this is normal.
The fucking trend.
I mean, there are cults on that.
Yeah, not in my high school. It was just, like, a whole bunch of hoes.
Alrighty. Would you say you have evolved? Well, yes, you have evolved. But can you like say like a little bit of like how you have evolved? Because for me, like I really appreciate my parents like having a little leash on me because I feel like my life could have been so much different.
My mom didn't really have a leash on me. Like I had like free reign to just do whatever I wanted.
Oh no, my mom said one time I asked her, like I was 15 and I was like, can I go to a party? She goes, sure, where we are going. I said, nah. I was like, nope, not going. I was like, I'm not gonna go. And she's like, okay. I waited until I was 18. When I was 18, I wowed the fuck out. I was like, I'm going to Maracas. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not going. I'm going out. And I used to go out every Friday and Saturday, even Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I used to not tell her just on purpose. And then I used to just tell my dad just in case anything comes up or anything happens to me.
No, I had like a free curfew. Like my mom wasn't like into that. Like,
oh, how nice.
To be like so in, but I think because I just didn't really fuck with anybody from school like that. Like I wasn't like super into like going to all of these like parties. Mm-hmm. I went to some, like I'm not gonna lie, like I went to some of them, but I wasn't like super like into like, oh, I need to be like at every party.
Okay.
So how did I evolve? I definitely evolved because I used to be very messy.
How?
I have a very messy story.
Go ahead. I'm like, go ahead.
Well, make sure you're on camera.
Oh, sure. I'm like.
So I'm gonna change the names around because I don't want them to know I'm talking about them.
Obviously.
So, but I was really good friends with this girl named, let's call her Veronica.
Okay.
And me and Veronica were very good friends, but we were not in the same circle.
Okay.
But me and Veronica were cool.
Okay.
And then Veronica was dating Victor, let's call him.
Okay.
And she was boyfriend and girlfriend of Victor. They had been dating, I think, maybe like from junior year to senior year.
Okay.
And then in that friend group, there was, let's call this guy Michael. And then this other girl, her name was Melissa.
Okay.
So, right, it was like 2 couples. Mm-hmm. What was his name again? Michael and Victor were best friends.
Okay.
And so they were all like a double date couple. So eventually Victor, my friend Veronica's man, got kicked out of his house for whatever reason. Okay. And Victor took him in, as like his family took him in for a couple of weeks while he sorted that whole thing out. Eventually, somehow, Veronica and Victor ended up breaking up. And then Michael and Melissa ended up breaking up. Okay. Like somehow, like within the same time frame. Okay. Melissa started dating Victor. his best friend's ex.
Shit.
So my friend Veronica was very upset about that, but she's not like a confrontational person. And like I'm messy, like I'm ready for it, like I'm ready to fucking rumble. So I was like, it's really fucked up that they did that to you. Mm-hmm. And one time I went to her lunch table to like say hi, like whatever, hey girl, like talking to her. And then the girl, Melissa, which I couldn't stand for other reason, she was like, hi, Estee. And I turned around and I was like, you cannot speak to me, Melissa. You cannot talk to me. And she was like, what? I was like, you're not a good person. What you did to, fuck his name? What you did to Veronica. What you did to my friend Veronica is unforgivable. The fact that you are fucking her ex, while that her ex is your ex's best friend, and you guys used to all double date together. I was like, you cannot speak to me. Woo. I was like, you're not a person that I want, and like you don't have a moral compass. Like I went off on that girl, and then Victor ended up kind of like, what's going on? I was like, Victor, you have no fucking shame. The fact that you are hooking up with Melissa. Mm-hmm. I was like, you're a piece of shit. And then I was like, you know what? It's like, you know what? Michael, he was also around the table just listening. You're a fucking dumbass that you don't speak up and you're letting this shit happen. I was like, you guys are all fucked up people. And I was just defending my friend Veronica. Then everybody started fighting. And then Veronica was like, maybe you should just go. And I was like, you know what? I will go. But I wanted to defend you. I ended up leaving, and yeah, they never spoke to me. Veronica did speak to me. But the other three never spoke to me again. I mean, they told me it was none of my business, and I told them, I was like, you know what, it is my business because Veronica's my friend, and I'm going to make it my business because she can't speak up for herself, and she can't tell you guys are pieces of shit, and I can. I'm delivering the message from Veronica to you
from the heart.
Veronica wasn't happy with me.
Because she didn't want you to. She was not ready to tell them on how big of shits they are. Mm-hmm.
So I calmed down with all of that, and now I'm in my business. Yeah.
Do you though?
I do. For the most part, I do. There's still like a little like 10% messy in me that I get like a little fucking tango and like a little drama happens. But for the most part, like I'm my business,
down. Yeah. I can see that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like you've evolved.
Yeah.
And you're also like into your
I'm also not as hot-headed.
Yes. I feel like I control my feelings a little bit.
I used to just be like ready to pop off. I used to be ready to argue. Like
not Estee.
Yeah. And now like I could really care less. I don't like to argue now. Like I would just walk away.
I'm like, I feel like I have evolved where I'm more mature. I know who I am. I used to be a lot more timid before. Like I used to just mind my business and like just keep it to myself. And my self-confidence was not all there. Mm-hmm. I definitely had to graduate and get into my own like self-worth. Now I can just give two fucks.
Were you involved in any drama?
Not really. I had a long-time boyfriend, and this man, he used to change. You know how like back in the days it used to be cool to be in a gang. Mm-hmm. So this man,
everybody in my high school, this man I didn't fuck with a lot of them.
And I'm like, one year he was like Blood. Another year he was like Latin King. Another year he was something else, DDP. And I'm like, can you fucking make up your mind?
Well, can you change them?
No.
I thought you were in it for life.
I don't know. This is high school. So then, you know what I told him clear from day one? I was like, you think that I'm going to go to Rikers to go visit you? You got to go find yourself another bitch because that ain't me.
No.
And I used to know so many dumb bitches that they used to go and visit their man. I mean, regardless, that's the life that you decided for yourself. But I knew from the beginning that was not the life for me.
They were 16 visiting their men in Rikers?
Yes. So he used to always change his gang, whatever. And I'm like, and then before him, I had like my first boyfriend in high school. So like,
damn, how many boyfriends you had?
Like 2. So I had one. I had one when I first went in on. No, I take that back. 3.
3. You see how like things escalate.
Yeah, so I had really 3.
3 serious ones.
Well, no.
Where's the 4th?
No. One was like, yeah, we're boyfriends, but like I think we like didn't even never kissed. And then that's when I knew I liked men with strong noses. From then.
That's how you were like, man. I was like, we date a woman?
No. I never had that phase of like curious.
There was a phase that like a lot of girls in my school just turned out to just try the cookie.
And I'm like, not me.
Whatever floats your boat, girls.
I mean, yeah. But I had one, like, we didn't even kiss. Then I had another one that we were, like, little boyfriend and girlfriend. And then, actually, I did have sex with him. Eventually, like, later on in senior year. And then I had my serious boyfriend who I lost my virginity to. So he was always beefing with this other guy that I had dated from before. And I'm like, we didn't have sex at that time. We didn't do anything. Like, we were just boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it was not that deep. And then, whatever, me and him broke up. We were together for, like, 1.5 years. And then, because people were always telling me that he was a hoe. So I was like, all right, so we're going to break this off. And then I went back to the first boyfriend that I had in high school. And he was like, oh, you always fucking, why you fucking with him? Da, da, da. And I was like, but why you mad?
What a flip-flop.
I was like, but why you mad?
I had no guy drama in high school.
That's it. That's the only little drama. And that was very, like, minimal. Like, I really did not care for, like, guy drama.
Yeah, I got involved in drama, but, like, I really didn't mean to. It was just me being messy. And, like, it just got back. Like, it blew up in my face.
I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
You learn your lesson young. I have a funny story to say that happened to me recently. Because I compare myself to these kids now, and I'm like, there's no comparison. So I was on the train, like, a few months ago. And it was a Sunday. It was really packed. The trains were not coming as frequently. So it was really packed. So these like group of 4 girls, they're like going from cart to cart to cart. So I'm like at the door of the train where you go to the next cart. So they were like passing by. I like smooched over and like, I let them pass. And then they couldn't go to the next cart because it was so packed and nobody was moving. So then they came back and I had my headphones on. So they were like basically like on me. And I had my headphones on, but they had died, but I had them on still. So people think that I'm listening to something. And these girls, they were like, oh, is she white? Yo, I had such a reflex. I looked back at them and I was like, I am sure not white. Yo, I had such a reflex. The girl was like, oh, she Hispanic with an attitude. And I was like, yup. I was like, whatever y'all thought y'all was about to do because y'all thought I was white.
They were going to rob the white girl.
I don't know what they were thinking of. But I made sure I had a reflex. I was just like, I'm sure not white. Like, you guys are trying to talk about me like I'm not right there. So I was just like, these kids nowadays, they're bold.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all need to relax. Y'all want to have, you guys want to have, want to act like grown-ups, but don't want to have the responsibility of a grown-up. Lesson for the day.
I do have one thing about like how we're different for like the kids nowadays. Because when I commute to work, I see a lot of like high school kids. Like, they don't give a fuck how they look. They show up to school looking like shit. Like, they just woke up. Like, they show up in pajama pants, Crocs.
They don't wash their
fucking
face.
Slipper. Like, back in our time, you went to high school and you dressed. Oh, I have another funny story. So you dressed to impress. You showed up. You picked out your outfit the night before.
Definitely.
You got the sneakers. Like, you.
I put a little eyeliner. A little mascara.
You showed out when you went to high school. And like, it was just great to look at people that look good. I love pretty people. I love looking at pretty people.
We do.
I don't like looking at these people that are wearing fucking pajama pants and the Ugg slippers to go to fucking school. Oof. They're wearing Uggs.
Crocs.
They're wearing Crocs. They're wearing fucking hoodies that like you sleep in.
Okay, but I wear the Crocs though. I wear the Crocs to go around the corner, not on the train, not on a long term.
Anyway, like they do not dress to impress. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like that's different. Like what happened to that? Like my mom would not let me out in a fucking pajama pant. Oh. You think my mom would let me out in slippers to go to school?
Absolutely. No. Look at you. Look at today's outfit. Just to come and sit on this couch.
Yeah. One story about this one girl that, you know, like my mouth gets me in trouble because sometimes I don't think before I speak.
I have that problem.
And I don't mean harm. It just comes out. So this girl we're talking, this was in high school, I forgot what grade, but not relevant. It was this girl and she's like talking about, she goes like, oh, I don't know how white people dress like so nice to come to school, like it's just fucking class, like why I gotta do the most for? Like, you know, like it's just school, like just wear whatever. And me as a person who dressed up, I was like, okay, like I was like, oh, so like you don't dress up to come to school, fine. I was like, do you like save your fits for the weekend? She was like, no, I don't go out on the weekend. Like I'd be just home chilling. Like I'm not gonna waste my clothes for the weekend. I just be home.
So they're always gonna be.
So I was like, really did not mean no harm, but like it just came out. So I was like, so you don't dress up for school? She's like, no. I'm like, so you don't dress up for the weekend? She goes like, no. And I was like, so you don't look good ever? Like ever in your life you never look good? And she got very offended.
Because you said it like that.
I mean, but she never looked good. From what the facts are is that she didn't dress up Monday through Friday, and then she didn't dress up Saturday, Sunday. So those are stuff you just never looked good. So I was like, you never look good. Like you just never look good in your life. Like,
did she respond?
She was like, oh, like why are you saying that? Like you think I don't look good? And it was like, well, no, you don't.
Because you don't put effort into it. Like you just said it.
Like you don't look good. Sorry. Like you didn't. Like you don't. Like I'm not gonna lie. One thing is I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was like, so you just never cared to look good? Like you just always want to look like that? Yeah.
I would say your mouth has gotten you in some type of trouble.
100%. All the time I stick my foot in my mouth.
That's why you're great for podcasting.
I found my calling.
Yeah. Last question.
Yeah.
What advice would you tell your high school self?
Keep going. These people are ain't shit.
I would say the same thing.
Yeah.
I would say don't be scared of being your funky self.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't be afraid to speak up. But also, you don't need to always take up so much space if it's not needed. Because sometimes people just want to talk.
Yeah.
And you're not going to talk to like 90% of the people you interact with in high school.
That's true. I have a really good one, actually.
Go ahead.
So like I said before, I came up stuck up because I was trying to overcompensate for me not being so confident. My advice would be like, you don't have to be so tough and so hard. You can be soft and people will still accept you the way you are.
I love that.
Because now I'm soft. I'm here.
And you just have to be tough when you go get gas. Remember that story?
About what?
When you went to get gas and you almost got into a fight?
Not this podcast.
Not this podcast. So that's another story.
Well,
that was the day you had to be tough.
Yes. It was great talking to you. And thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our rants about high school. But I encourage you guys to look at yourselves now.
And see how far you come.
And embrace that.
And if you haven't come far, then figure it out.
And if you're not like maybe happy about who you are at the very moment or you have not grown that much.
Figure it out.
Get some help, sis.
Yeah.
Get some therapy, sis.
Yeah.
Get some self-reflection, sis.
Yeah.
Or.
And if you were mean to us in high school, fuck you.
Yeah. Because we're awesome.
I'm going to link everybody that was mean to me. And you guys can go attack them. No, I'm just totally kidding. Well, thank you guys. Subscribe. What is it? Subscribe, follow, like, comment. Answer the questions on Spotify.
Yes, please engage with us. Please write down your comments. Please answer the polls. And we are leaving open-ended questions at the end of our description.
Spill your heart out.
We want to know all the stories that you guys have. We want to hear all the things that come up in your mind when you're listening to us, because it really does drive us. So thank you.
Oh, and special shout out to my good sis Mel, because I was at a rave on Saturday, and I mistakenly called her at 2 a.m. trying to take a video. And she texted me right away, and she said, is everything okay? Are you safe?
Aww.
And I responded, thank you, sis. I am good. It was a mistake. You're a real one. I feel like if I would have called any of my friends, they wouldn't have answered.
What are you trying to say about me?
Bye.